Hlavním lákadlem 12. ročníku Mezinárodního festivalu nového cirkusu Cirk-UFF je australský soubor Circa. And I'd like to welcome here the main man of that, let's say, company, Yaronem Lifschitzem. Hello.
Hello, lovely to meet you.
I'm really glad to meet you too. So I've heard you're the best of besties here. You have a performance for 2 days. How hard is that to prepare it?
Look, it's a bit like Mark Rothko, the painter, said when someone said, how long did it take you to paint this painting? And he said 40 years, because it takes your whole life to make a work. And it's for the artists, they train for many years, they rehearse all the time. It's a very difficult art form. Everything in circus is hard. And circus work, it's very physically demanding, but also requires a great intelligence and kind of ability to work with others and think and perform. So yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's what we do. It's what we love doing, and so when you love doing it, it's not a problem.
What have you prepared for the audience?
Well, our show is called Humans, and really I wanted to make a show that was about being human. It was the experience, it was the energy, it was the rhythm of being human. It's so we start with very simple things that bodies do. They can fly through the air, they can fall, they can stand on each other, and from this, with 10 acrobats, things get more complex, intricate, sometimes very intimate. And sometimes quite funny, and sometimes very beautiful and poetic. So you'll see people stand on top of each other in many different ways. You'll see people leap across each other, but you'll also see people trying to lick their elbows, which, as we know, is not something that we can do. If you don't believe me, you can try that at home, but almost no human can lick their own elbow.
Am I right too? That's really dangerous stuff, I think.
There is also dangerous stuff. Licking your elbow is not dangerous. It's quite safe to try that at home. But many of the other things in the show I wouldn't try at home. But these are, obviously we are very skilled acrobats, and the show is intense, but it's also very beautiful. I think there's something kind of very tender, very human about the way the Circa artists are on a stage. They feel like you're watching humans being very present, very vulnerable, very open and alive, and that was part of what I wanted to share with an audience. You know, in circus it's easy to make people clap, but it's quite hard to make them feel something. And I'm very interested in making the audiences feel something and go on a emotional and intellectual journey, as well as something really exciting. One of the things I think with the show, it's very strong, very kind of interesting music. It really gets, there's almost all the music works in a kind of rhythm that really gets inside your skin, and is kind of playful, a little bit seductive, a little bit beautiful, and sometimes a bit sad. And I think these are really the emotional palette for the show.
So it is really hard to, let's say, to think about every movement and to make it work.
Yeah, I mean, you can't, beyond a certain point, you can't keep every detail present. It's just too many combinations. So really what you do is I create like algorithms, structures of creating meaning that people can inhabit and work with. It's very much like this interview. We have one microphone, 2 chairs, and 2 of us and a camera. Okay, we don't know exactly where we're going to sit, but we know that if we're not in the frame and I'm not talking to the microphone, the audience won't hear anything, yeah? So the same way with people, if we know that we all want to avoid something in the middle or being thrown out, or we're all trying to climb delicately on each other, we can each find a pathway to do that. I don't want to make work that is very very clean. I like things that have humanness to them, because partly the show is called Humans, but also I think it's important that we have circus for me is about a really fiercely alive way of being present and alive, being very human as a form. It's just not the same. It's life lived kind of more intensely. And I'm really keen to bring that to audiences and show that. So sometimes it needs a little bit of complexity, a little bit of difficulty as well.
So the point is that every show is quite different from the rest of it.
Look, I think every show for me is like I think of as like a new emotion. It's some way I want you to come out of the show and go, oh, I feel something strange and interesting, and I think that's the emotion called Humans now, or Humans by Circa is that's that emotion.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, a lot of probably stress and joy, of course. Do you have a time as a company to look around, to go to Trutnov or to the mountains, hiking probably, or you don't have any time to do that?
It's a pretty full schedule, but we have some time in the day, and we've been in Trutnov a few times, and it's an incredible place. So it's full of beauty in nature, warm people, incredible pastries, and just, you know, and of course this great place here, so, and this festival. So you create a relationship with a place, and you know, touring and doing one night and then one night and one night, it's not really fun after a while. It's just one hotel room, one theatre. But we're here for a week, and one of the things that's very special about this place is that we make work here. So we bring new shows when they're in creation. We make work, and that always forms a part of the show. I think the fresh air and environment is maybe part of some of our shows now, and will be for many years.
And what was the main point that you've decided to return back?
We love it here. We think it's a great place, and it's like, you know, it's very much like the architecture here. It's like both part of and a little bit different to the rest of the city, and I feel like that's very much how we feel like we're part of this culture and talking to its audiences. But also we come from Australia; it's a long way away, and we have different. Different ideas and different perspectives, and it's beautiful to share them and also learn about yourself and others from that experience.
I really thank you for the interview, and I wish you a lovely performance and, well, let's say, happy audience.
Thank you very much. I look forward to it.